Hi guys, today I'm introducing to you guys the products that I want to use up in 2022. It's finally sunny outside again. I'm filming this on second Christmas Day, Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day, whatever you call it, and it's been so dreary and rainy the last couple of days here, so I'm so happy to see some sunshine again. Doesn't really matter for you guys, of course, but just wanted to share my happiness with you all. Anyway, let's jump in. I have a list right here of all the products that I've decided I'm hoping to use up in 2022. It's funny to see how this list has been getting shorter and shorter over the years. I was looking back at the first time that I did this, which was in 2015. I cannot imagine. It's been like we're going into the 7th year of me doing this at this point, but we are. And I had 61 products on my list then. This time I have a little less. I think it's partly because the products that I still have left are bigger. I had been organically kind of using my collection before I started doing this like this, of course. And I had a lot more products that were like a little bit gone already or that were smaller and those types of things. And I noticed that I've left some of the bigger products a little bit longer. So my numbers have gone down. The amount that I want to use up, but probably the amount is still going to be pretty similar. Anyway, let's jump in. Starting off with powders. For powders, I want to use up one because I only have one in my collection at the moment. And it's very shiny packaging. This is a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder in Fair. I've used this a few times now and I really like it. So I'm happy I bought this so far. It still is looking pretty pristine though, so I've still got some work to do on this one, but I've got all year. And it's the only powder that I have, so that shouldn't be a problem, but that is item number one. Then moving on to highlighters. For highlighters I have two, which you guys are pretty familiar with at this point. Let's start with the NARS Albatros one. This one I've been working on for over a year at this point, but it shows. You can definitely see I've been using this. There is a huge amount of pan. And looking at the amount of pan that's already there, I think it should definitely be possible for me to use this one up. It's still in the Panner's Pan project, so I'm curious to see how long it's going to take me. If it's going to take me all year, or whether maybe it will actually be gone like halfway or three-fourths throughout the year. And then of course we've got my L'Oreal Glam Bronze Trio in Blonde Harmony, which is already falling apart. I finally have the slightest bit of pan on this one, but there still is so much progress more to be made on this one. So I've been, like, I have over 200 uses on this guy already, if I'm correct. And yeah, it doesn't look nearly gone just yet. So I'm curious to see whether this will still be hanging around by the end of this year. I will regularly keep using this and we will see where we will end up. Then we have bronzers, and I only have one like bronzer contour shade as well, and this is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Blush, because it's actually a blush in So Taupe. But of course this is not a blush on my skin tone. I'm using this to contour with, and I do have pan on it, so I think it should be possible for me to actually kick this one out this year, especially since it's the only one that I have and I use it on a pretty consistent basis. Then for pigments, I always try to put something in here that I want to use up and I've never succeeded yet. I don't think I've ever used up a pigment. So maybe 2022 will be the year that I will. This is in the Roulette Pan collab project at the moment, so maybe it will be gone at some point. I don't think it will be gone like during that project, because that will be done in a couple of weeks from like when I'm filming this. But I'm definitely hoping to use this a good bit at the start of the year so I can make some nice progress on it and not forget about it and get completely like focused on all the other things that I'm trying to do as well. So this is the NYX Yellow Gold. I'm realizing I'm not doing any swatches. Do you guys want to see swatches? I always like to see swatches, so I'm gonna do that as well. So this yellow shade right here, that is the NYX pigment, and it's just a really nice yellow gold, as the name already says. So I'm looking forward to using that a bit more, even though I believe that was on my list in 2021 as well, and didn't really happen for it then. Then the bronzer or contour, that is this one right here. Of course, I'm not putting it on as intensely as that swatch. And then the Sun Radiance Trio, I always like just swirl the three things together, although it keeps picking up more of the blush most of the time. That is what this one looks like, and it's, as you can see, like it's not overly pigmented, so that's why I'm using it more as a blush topper, because it's too pigmented to use as a highlighter in my opinion, but it's not pigmented enough to really use as a blush. But as a blush topper it works really well, so when I have a matte blush that I'm wearing, that one goes on top most of the time. And then we've got the NARS Albatros highlighter, which I really like. And that is what that one looks like. I don't know if it even picks up on it. There is a bit of a shine right here. So yeah, that is that one. Then moving on, we've got the quads and trios that I want to use up. One of them, again, you guys are really familiar with. This is the Smoky Eyes Trio from Bourjois. This was my Panda palette in 2021, and it still is going to be in my Panda palette updates for 22 as well. I've got 2 shades left in here. I'm not going to swatch these because you guys have seen plenty of this one. But yeah, 2 shades left, or 1.5 kind of, because I've got some nice pan on one of the shades in there. And then of course we've got the Lancome quad. I keep saying it every year, like if this is not the year that it's gonna be done, I might kick it out, but I've got such nice pan on it right now, and I don't know why I'm swatching this one. It's like not overly pigmented of a black, like that is just a really quick simple swatch. I can build it up as well of course, but it's really hardly pressed in here, so I'm not pricking up as much product every single time, but that's okay. Anyway, moving on, we've got eyeshadow palettes, and in here I did finish one up in 21, so that one is gone. I'm still hoping to finish off my LA Colors palette, which is pretty much empty at this point, so I think that should be possible. I've mainly got the blue left at this point, so I think I should be able to finish that one off. Actually looking like this is 7.5 grams of product for 5 shades, which I never like fully realized, like when I'm putting in a quint, the weight isn't that much different from like a palette like the Amuse palette that I also want to use up, which clearly tells me that the shades, like the amount of product per shade in that one is a lot more. This one is 11.1 grams, but that is spread across 9 shades and a blush, so definitely some smaller pans in this one in comparison to the quint right there. Well, I want to work on this one as well, of course. This is my Panda palette for 22. I've got pan in 4 shades in here already, and I'm looking forward to seeing how quickly this one will start moving. I want to use the blush as well. So this is my eyeshadow palette category, but this one will pop up in my blushes, so I might just as well show you guys now instead of show you again later. I'm hoping to finish off the blush as well. I haven't really used it, so I'm really curious to see if I even like it, because if I don't, maybe I won't try to go through it all the way. But then I don't think the blush is huge, considering this is 11.1 gram, but considering that this is 11.1 grams of product, and that includes eyeshadows and the blush. So let's see. I'm not gonna swatch this one either. If you want to see these swatched, you need to watch the intro for my Panda palettes, which will be linked up here. Then for primers, I've got my eyeshadow primer, of course, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance that I'm always working on, because I've always got one, and that's the only like primer that I have. And I'm gonna be working on this one, see if I can get another one done this year. Then for mascaras, I've got these 2. I'm still working on like one other one, but then we'll be done by the time the new year starts, since I'm filming a little bit earlier, so these 2 are still both in the packaging. But these are the only mascaras that I have, the Clinique High Impact mascaras, and I really like those, so they will always, I can't say always because I don't know what's gonna happen in like 50 years from now, but they will be in my collection most of the time. Then we're going to lipsticks, and here I've got 3 that I want to work on this year. One that I have already been actively working on, and that is the MAC Viva Glam Nicki lipstick, which as you can see is already halfway gone. It's a very like Barbie-ish pink, like a very light pink. So it's a bit too much most of the time for me on my lips, which is why I'm using it as a cream blush. And that works pretty well as well. And I think if I keep doing that, I should be fine to finish that one off by the end of the year. And then I've got these two. This one might look familiar to you because it has been in the project for a good while, but I haven't really been focusing on it because my focus was somewhere else. This is the lip blush from Revlon in a like bright red shade, or Revlon, the Jelly Pong Pong lip blush. And yeah, that is that one. Once I start working on this, I feel like I should be able to get through it quite okay, even though it is a red, of course. So that will like might interfere a little bit sometimes with the eyeshadows that I'm trying to put on, but yeah, I think it's kind of nice. And then the last one is the Yves Saint Laurent lipstick, and I don't know what the color of this one is because it faded off, but it's a Rouge Volupte line, and this is what is in that one. I don't know if I can show you guys, like there's a little bit, it's going a little bit down already in the tube, but not a whole lot. So this one is kind of like a corally orange type shade, that one right here. So I guess I've got a nice mix of shades, although I'm not really using the pink on my lips. So I've got two shades of red and a coral, which are close enough to each other. But anyway, that's it for lipsticks. 3 that I want to work on, and I think it should be possible. I'm looking forward to focusing a bit more on lipsticks again, because I can actually see the progress a little bit more nicely instead of like with the lip lacquer that I've been focusing on for pretty much all of 2021. Anyway, moving on to my lip glosses first. I'm gonna try and focus on these two, and they're pretty similar in color, but if I'm gonna be layering them and doing some other things with them, I think it should be okay. This one you guys know because this is in one of my projects at the moment as well. This is the MAC Lip Gelee in I don't know what, because the sticker left the packaging. But I'm pretty much like halfway. I'm about here on this one. So I think that this one should be able to be done in like the first half of the year at least. But I do not want to forget to actually focus on this one as well. So maybe if I try to focus on both a little bit, or maybe even this one a little bit more, that one might still be lasting me a little bit longer than the half-year point of 22. But this guy, it's been in so many projects, and it's been in so many of like these year-long updates from me. This is gonna be the year. I think I said that last year as well, and probably even the year before. It's in a project right now. It's in my The Panner's Pan project, and because it only has 5 products, I cannot like give you the update every single month that I haven't made any progress on this one. So I'm hoping by the time like my whole collection project pan, which this one is still in, is wrapped up, which will be in a week from like me filming this, probably gonna step to this one and try to use this one a little bit more. So this is the NYX Sweetheart lip gloss, and actually let me swatch both of these as well so you can see like the little bit of difference that I think is still there. The NYX or NYX lip gloss is actually quite pigmented still, whereas the MAC Lip Gelee is a bit lighter, stickier. So these are the 2 lip glosses. So you can see they're pretty close in color, but this one is a bit more pinkish and the Lip Gelee is a little bit more orangey. So that might work together with like the shades that I have for my lipsticks as well. Although I'll probably be wearing them on their own quite often as well, just because masks and lipsticks don't work too well together all the time. Now we've got the lip lacquer, and this one is my Rimmel Apocalips lip lacquer in Apocaliptic, which there isn't loads of product left in here anymore. I've got the stopper taken out, but there still is enough progress to be made on this one still. My wand is picking up on loads of products since I've taken out the stopper, but it's fine. Like I really like this color. It's just, it's so hard to see like the amount of progress that I'm actually making on it, which makes it a bit frustrating because I like to see movement when I'm doing something. I like to see that I'm actually achieving something, which is a bit harder with this one. But still, I like the color, and it's a nice pink to kind of work together with the red and the orange that I have in my lipsticks. So that's that one, and hopefully that one will be done in the first like quarter or at least 6 months of this year. Anyway, moving on to my lip balms. I've got two that I want to use up this year. One that I've been working on for all of 21, and I know I will have done probably within the first quarter of this year, because there isn't loads left anymore. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see. But yeah, this one will be gone quite quickly. Also looking at the amount of progress that I know I've made on this every month over the last year. And then secondly, I want to work on the Born Lippy lip balm from the Body Shop in Passion Berry, which only has the slightest bit of a dip, as you can see there, but it still needs a lot of work. It's a bit more of like a jelly consistency though, so I feel like I'm picking up way more of this one in comparison to the I Love Coconut and Cream one, so I'm guessing this one will move a bit quicker. Plus, can I see how much is in here? This is 8.5 grams of product, and this guy was huge. Are you telling me? This was 15 mils, and that means that this one is probably about half. Yeah, you can see it like that as well. It's about half as big. No, this is about half as small. Those statements don't make sense math-wise, but this is about half of what is in here. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think I should be able to go through this one, considering the amount of progress I made on this one over the last year. And maybe I can make a little start on my tinted lip balm, because these are the last two like actual lip balms that I still have in my collection, and then I can go out and buy something that I actually want to use as a lip balm. Very exciting. Then we have blushes, and for blushes I've got the Revlon blush that I was hoping to work on a bit more last year as well, but I kind of dove into the Baroque blush from Pupa a little bit more. But I have a little bit of pan on this one, and I know that once I start using this, this will start moving quite quickly, especially on like this side, because the pan is actually going down a little bit already, so there is more side pan starting to show. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much progress I can make on this one if I focus on it a lot more. And I hope I should be able to finish this one off in 2022, but then also I will be working a bit on the blush in my Amuse palette. But this one will be the main focus. The nice thing about the one in the Amuse palette though is that if I'm traveling or anything, I can just bring the palette and I have a blush with me already, so I don't have to take a separate blush with me, which is always going to be good, or when I'm doing my makeup at the gym or something like that. So yeah. Then we've got concealers, and this is the only concealer that I have in my collection at the moment, so it's the only one that I'm going to be focusing on for now. This is the Charlotte Tilbury concealer, and it is in the Retoucher, the Conceal and Treat Stick. It has like a brush tip applicator, which is okay, but also not my favorite. I feel like I'm wasting more product this way, but I wanted to try something new, and this is really nice and hydrating, which is exactly what I was looking for in a concealer. So the consistency is nice, but I'm curious to see how long this will last me, because it definitely is a bit more pricey, of course, because it's Charlotte Tilbury. And then I have the eyeliner that I want to work on this year, and I'm moving back to the Master Smokey from Maybelline in Smoky Black. I was working on this one in 2020 for a little bit at least, and I just want to see if I focus on this one from the start of the year, because this rolled into my whole collection project plan for this year, how much progress I can make, and see if I can get anywhere near finishing this one off. I'm laughing because I'm not expecting that to happen, but I want to track it anyway, so I'm putting in this project as well. Let's see, maybe I'll surprise myself. But yeah, that is it. And those are 23 products in total that I'm hoping to work through this year. I think it should be, like most of them, I should be able to get through, but let's see if that is actually the case. Like I said, in 2015, I had 61 products. So this is not even half of what I was trying to use up then. Of course, then I was still learning as well, but yeah, I feel like I got a lot closer to actually that 61 than I will this year, but let's see. Looking at my products right now, I'm trying to see like what do I think I will have finished during my first update here, which will be the 3-month mark of 22. I think I should be able to use up this palette right here. I think I should be able to use up the I Love Coconut and Cream lip balm, and I'm really hoping I can use up the Apocalips lip lacquer in Apocaliptic But then looking at everything else, I don't know if I will. Like, I'm hoping definitely to make some nice progress on this guy. I think I will be getting pretty close on the MAC Lip Gloss lipstick that I'm using as a blush, cream blush. But then I think that's probably it for the first 3 months. But we're gonna see how much progress I can make on everything. Anyway, this video is long enough now, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye bye!